I'm still looking to actually hear an argument as to why it's wrong, though.
I mean, I feel like if you're very old and you're dating, just from my experience, dating like an 18, 19-year-old, you're taking advantage of that person for sure.
How so?
I believe that the majority of people older, at least 10, 15 years older than an 18, 19-year-old, I think they do have a lot more life experience. I feel like it's very rare for an 18, 19-year-old to have a lot of experience unless they're a celebrity and they've come from a certain family backgrounds. But the majority of time, most 18, 19-year-olds are not as confident or really know themselves or what they like, what they don't like. And I feel like older people can take advantage of that very easily.
How would they take advantage of that?
Sexually, or having, using them as kind of arm candy or a way to kind of show off to others that they can get somebody younger. I don't feel like it's really in that person's best interest. I feel like there's something that person wants. That's the only thing I can come up with, at least.
Wait, the
older gentleman or person or woman
what?
too. I don't know, to maybe groom that person to be their perfect mate, maybe. They're still kind of coming into their own. They're still figuring out who they are. And when you're with someone that much older, you can kind of tell them what they like.
Can you define what grooming is in this context?
I would say showing somebody a life and telling them what they like by certain situations.
Wait, so couldn't this be an expectation you encounter in any relationship regardless of age? So don't you teach your partner your likes, your dislikes, and vice versa?
Yes, but usually those people have their likes and dislikes already developed, not someone who's learning what they like and dislike. So if I'm with somebody who is around my same age and they already know what they like and dislike, we have the opportunity to be like, I don't like that, and kind of dip into the void. Where someone who's 18 and 19, like, oh, well, I've never experienced that before, I guess I'll try it. And then you get, I don't know, they get put into a situation that might not be the best for them.
Like what?
Maybe they put their own dreams on the back burner instead of trying to develop what they feel like would be beneficial to them.
What's wrong with that?
Well, if the relationship doesn't work out, you're kind of SOL. I feel like one thing I definitely learned is always have your own money. Like always have your own money. Because when I was dating the older guy when I was 19, he had me quit my job so we can travel. And then if I didn't hear from him for a couple of days, how can I eat? How can I do anything?
Was he paying you an allowance or anything like that? There wasn't like any sugar daddy component?
If I was me now, there would have been stipulations. But when I was 19, I didn't ask for anything. I just was along for the ride. And
wait, so hold on. So were you living rent-free with him?
No.
How long did the relationship last?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. So you're saying you were financially harmed because you were dating him? Is that your...
I would say I wasn't looking out for my best interest. I stopped going to college and getting good grades. I kind of put this adventure that he presented to me as being the important thing when I should have made the important thing making a future for myself.
Couldn't this happen at any age, though? I don't really see how it pertains.
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like at any age it can happen. Like, obviously, like, not to the extent of, like, say, like an 18-year-old with, like, a 30-year-old, but still, like, even like a 30-year-old with a 50 or 60-year-old, you could still be putting a lot of your own dreams, a lot of your own interests on the back burner of a more successful, more powerful man. You know?
I
because there is a power dynamic with the age difference. No matter whether you're 18 or whether you're 30, there's always going to be a power dynamic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I agree with that. But I feel like as someone who is 32, I feel like I've already lived a lot of life and I can have a better...
Let me tell you something.
Sense.
I'm 38. I'm a different man than when I was 32. You're constantly changing. You're constantly learning new things. What I like now, I didn't like when I was 32. And I guarantee the same thing will happen to you and everyone else in this room. So it's, that. That's just coming from a bit of older man experience here. We're always changing and we're always thinking of different things. So just don't be too quick to think like that because it's like Brian said, it's applicable to any age. I feel like just in general, when there's a big power dynamic and a difference in age, it's going to happen either way.
Okay,
Whether
so
you're
you're
18
saying-
or whether you're 30, it's going to happen either way.
Okay, so so you're basically saying that you should date in your lane.
If you're dating, yes, you should date. Like if you want to be in line with someone on the same morals, values, life experience, I would say date within a 5-year age
But if you
range.
date somebody who is more powerful than you, you should step into their lane.
Well, that's normally what happens. Whether you like it or not, that's just what happens. It's the power balance, it's the imbalance of power,
Yeah.
to be honest. When a man's like 20 years older than you, has more money, has a far more advanced career than say like a 30, 25-year-old woman, it's just naturally what happens. The woman naturally adopts and takes on what the alpha brings to the relationship, which is a man. So if the man's got like more money, more assets, more life experience, then the woman is just by nature she's going to follow.
But would you be okay with like your partner? Would you support them if they wanted to do something else?
Well, in my situation, my partner's 3 years younger than me, so she has her own career. I've got my own career. I support her. She supports me. In general, if I had a younger partner, it would be a different dynamic, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm successful, I feel like she wouldn't have to be following her own path. She could if she wanted to, but I would offer her a different life, and she wouldn't have to be trying to, like, I guess, chase her own dreams and hopes, because essentially she wouldn't have to work. You know what I
True.
mean? So I would offer her that, but if she wanted to do something else, then that's her prerogative. But
Yeah.
in saying that, which is why I think it's important to date within like a 5-year age range. So
Yeah,
it's like you guys
no,
are at the same kind of level,
Yeah, and I totally understand that. But my only problem is, unless that comes with a ring, if somebody dumps you and you don't put yourself at least a little bit first, you're kind of left back where you were. You're back at square one.
So what do you mean by that?
I feel like you got to protect yourself.
How
Unless you
how
know
would you-
this
how would you protect-
relationship's for real, you got to have your own
So how
plans.
would you protect yourself? What, by having a plan B?
I
or-
would protect myself by making sure that I am investing in myself, so that if something, what happens if you die, like that person's still got to do something.
It's always important to look after, like, obviously yourself first, but like I feel like when you're in a relationship, if you truly love each other, not like this fake situationships and just like temporary little like flings and all that. If you truly love someone, you know if they're about that life, and you
Yeah.
know if they want, you
But
want to get
when you're
married.
stepping into somebody's lane,
Hold on, you gotta let them finish.
Oh, I apologize.
It's
Go
all
ahead.
right. It's all right. So yeah, you just want to know, like, you can normally tell these things. So I've been in many relationships. I can tell when a relationship genuinely isn't going to perpetuate into anything more than just say like a relationship. And I've been in relationships where there've been so much more, when I'm like, okay, cool, I could actually marry this girl. And there's nothing wrong with either one, but you got to pick them and realize them for what they are. So if you're in one of those relationships and deep down, and we all have this innate like feeling in our gut, we can tell if this person is gonna, if they're gonna be around for a while. And I guess maybe I'm speaking from experience, but it's just something that you can normally pick up on after
Okay.
you've experienced it, I
Yeah.
feel.